Hey, midlife lady, is this you? I'm doing everything I used to do, but nothing is working anymore. Or there's so much conflicting advice out there. Should I eat low carb, count calories, or try intermittent fasting? If this is you, stay tuned because today I'm going to be answering some very important questions that you may have about your weight gain or slow weight loss in menopause. Here's the question. Why can't I lose weight in menopause and what do I need to do about it? First, I want to talk a little bit about my own personal story with this issue, this topic, this problem, and it is a big problem today. Most women in menopause will gain over 10 pounds. And that is over a span of several years, and it can be even more. And this is what happened to me. As I hit perimenopause, I was around, when all of this was going on, really the hard part hit when I was around 46. Perimenopause starts 10 years before menopause. So there are things going on way before they show up in your body or way before you notice them. For me, I hit around 46, and that is when the scale started going up. That is when my jeans no longer fit. That is the season that I started realizing that what I'm doing is not working. And I wanted to understand what was going on. It wasn't until I started experiencing this weight gain and also lots of perimenopausal symptoms such as lack of sleep, night sweats, low-level anxiety, fatigue, hot flashes, and more. Can anybody relate? Is this where you are right now? Well, today, this episode, I want to talk about the key reason why weight loss feels harder, and I want to provide some solutions that have worked for me, many of my clients, and that I think will work for you as well. So hang with me here. We're going to be talking about, think about this like pieces of a puzzle. There's not just a one fix here. There are many pieces of the puzzle that you really want to have dialed in, or we really want to have these pieces of the puzzle. We're working on those so that when we get the whole puzzle put together, your body is turning on fat burning. Your body is supporting itself. Your hormones are supported. We're doing the proper exercise and nutrition and lifestyle habits. All of these are going to support that midlife weight loss. So first, why aren't we losing weight? Why are we gaining weight in menopause? The main reason is because of the decline of estrogen and how it impacts our fat storage, especially in the abdominal area. We also become less insulin sensitive, which is leading to blood sugar fluctuations, which is leading to an increase of fat storage. We also have more stress hormones during this time. That's because of the lack of estrogen. That's because of chronic stress in our lives. That's because of things that maybe we're doing or not doing that create stress in our body. Another reason is because our thyroid may not be optimized. Our thyroid is our battery. It is our metabolism. And when we age and when our hormones decline, sometimes our thyroid becomes more sluggish and we need thyroid support. There are also metabolism changes, and that is because we are losing muscle. That is because we are not moving as much. The loss of muscle is probably the number one reason for metabolic changes, and not including what you're putting in your mouth, and if you are moving your body and how you're moving your body. And then let's talk about sleep and energy levels. How is that impacting our weight loss or weight gain? Sleep is paramount for us. When we are not getting adequate sleep, which is difficult in menopause, we have higher cortisol levels. We do not get the recovery that we need. We do not go into fat burning in the night. We may wake up with higher blood sugar levels. We may have higher cortisol levels and have more cravings. Sleep is very important. These are factors that are contributing to the weight gain or the slow weight loss. Some other common mistakes that go along with this is that to counteract this, a lot of us will try to eat less and exercise more, which backfires. When you start taking in too little calories, really throws your body into higher cortisol levels, which increases insulin, which increases fat storage, especially around the abdomen. And we also end up slowing down our metabolism when we are not eating enough calories, when we're not getting the nutrients that our hormones need. That is also a contributing factor. And then if you're doing too much exercise, then you are working against yourself. You are raising those cortisol levels, and higher cortisol levels are going to break down muscle. So we want to exercise properly during this season. And I say this a lot, but less is best. Less of the proper and the right and the strategic exercise is best. It is not more. You do not have to exercise 6 or 7 days a week. Doing too much cardio will also work against your weight loss. So if you're doing a bunch of cardio every single day, 45 to 60 minutes every single day, that is going to work against you as well. Weight loss is harder when we are not supporting our bodies properly because our body gets more stressed. Underlying stress causes those cortisol levels to rise, and it causes our body to store fat. So we basically are training our bodies to store fat when we hit menopause if we are not actively working against that. So that's why we want to understand what we're doing and how that's contributing to our weight gain. One thing I also see with my Trim Healthy ladies is that they need to do Trim Healthy a different way. The foundational way of Trim Healthy is amazing. And I talk to a lot of you. You say, I lost 20 pounds when I was in my 30s or early 40s. But what happens is because of those hormonal shifts, we have a huge hormonal shift and transition during our perimenopause time, not to mention our brain completely changes, our gut microbiome changes, we start losing muscle. And so we need to do Trim Healthy in a wise way. And so here are some pitfalls. If you are on the Trim Healthy plan, think about these things and see where you are with these. These are some of the pitfalls. These are the things that we need to change in our menopausal season. They will work for some women, but for others, we really need to take a look at these. So are you eating too many heavy S meals? That's our satisfying, our fat-based meals, or are you even eating keto? Our bodies cannot handle all of that fat. Are you getting your E meals or your carbohydrates in at least 2 meals a day? Are you getting your carbs in? Are you completely going low carb? Your hormones, your thyroid, your metabolism, your brain, it needs good low glycemic carbohydrates. Those are real whole food carbohydrates. I'm not talking about chips or things in a package. I'm talking about real whole food. Sometimes we are eating too much animal protein. Yes, we need to be nerdy about our protein. We need to get at least 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal and snack, upwards to that's 100 grams a day at least. But if we're getting it with too much animal protein, that can turn on our mTOR pathways, which increases inflammation. So we may need to play around with the type of protein that we are consuming. Also, are you using more of the heavier fats? Maybe you're not using too much of them, but you're relying on cream cheese or butter or coconut oil or sour cream or cheeses, common dairy. Are you focusing on those type of fats instead of some of the lighter fats and some of the fats that contain fiber, such as avocados and nuts and seeds and nuts and seed butters? And cheeses that are light, such as Parmesan cheese and sheep cheese and feta, and cheeses and fats that are a little bit lighter like that. And here's the key. Are you getting your plants in? Are you getting your veggies, your fruits and veggies? These are a key player in menopause. Plant-based foods cleanse your fat cells. So we need more veggies. We need more plants, more plant-based foods in our menopausal season, especially when you're eating it with protein. It is going to help you cleanse your fat cells. The plants are also going to help to support your gut health, your gut microbiome, which needs lots of help. Those are some of the nutritional things that you want to think about. Now let's talk about exercise. I was talking earlier about the wrong type of exercise, such as too much cardio or not weight training, or focusing on less needle moving exercises such as yoga, Pilates, things like that. There are a place for those, but too much cardio is going to backfire. So what do we want to focus on? The key needle mover exercise is going to be your strength training. Your strength training and then polarized cardiovascular training. What is that? We're not talking about a 45-minute cardio session. We're talking about a HIIT, high intensity training, or a sit, sprint and interval training that's only 6 to maybe 15 minutes. It can be a 5-minute. Strength training is going to be your needle mover exercise because it's going to help you build that muscle. Building muscle is your metabolic magic metabolism fixer, is building muscle. Building muscle is also going to help you regulate your blood sugar and become more insulin sensitive, which is what we want. Building muscle is going to help you turn on fat burning. So the only way to build muscle is to lift weights. Now, some of you will need to start, if you're not doing anything, you're going to need to start with a foundational weight training program, such as the work-ins, or maybe you're doing body weight, or maybe you're utilizing tubes or bands. That's a great place to start. But once you have a foundational basic strength, you want to add those weights, and eventually you want to lift heavy. Some of us have limitations, but there are definitely ways to get around those limitations. There is no reason why anybody cannot do some type of weight training. I've been a trainer for many, many years, and I have seen women in midlife deal with knee issues and hip issues and knee replacements and frozen shoulder and shoulder issues and ankle issues and things like that. And there are still things that you can do with weights, even if you have those things going on. So the strength training is going to be a number one exercise for the woman in midlife and beyond to focus on. Next, we're going to talk about hormones. Hormone optimization. Bioidentical hormone therapy can be helpful, and it can indirectly affect your weight loss journey. Usually, bioidentical hormones do not directly affect weight loss. However, what they do is support your body well so that your body can support best blood sugar regulation, so that your body can build and grow muscle, so that you can sleep better, so that you have a better quality of life. Thyroid optimization is part of this as well. This can directly affect slow weight loss or even weight gain, and you're not even doing anything different. Seeking out a practitioner that will get a full panel of your thyroid is what you want to do. And that would be finding somebody that is a functional practitioner or an integrative practitioner that can take a look at exactly what's going on. You may be in the normal range, but you may not be optimized. And this is one of the number one things I see with many of the clients I work with. They'll tell me, oh, my doctor says my thyroid is fine. And I take a look at the lab work and the thyroid is not optimized, or they haven't even tested anything but TSH. That's why we want a full panel. Next, we want to talk about, the stress I talked about earlier, the stress of not enough exercise, the stress of no sleep, the chronic stress when we have life issues happening, stress when we're eating improper foods or inflammatory foods. This is what we want to work on, is all of those stressors. We want to dial in our nutrition and our exercise so that we are less stressed in our bodies. And we also want to make sure that we have a level of self-care. Who is taking care of themselves? Who is prioritizing themselves today? I hope that you are, because this is the time to do it. When we're younger, we're much more resilient. We can kind of burn the candle at both ends. We can do some things that might not be best for us. But in this season, if you are dragging, if you are fatigued, if you have that low level anxiety, if your life is a workout, we need to do some stress reduction. We need to find some places for self-care. We want to invest back into ourselves. So if this is you, I want to encourage you. First of all, this does sound like a lot. It is a lot, but I want to tell you, think of these as puzzle pieces, and we're just going to get one puzzle piece dialed in at a time. When you get these dialed in, and this takes time, even with our weight training, at least 6 months. Sometimes you will not see a difference with your blood sugar levels or your A1C levels or your blood work until you have been building muscle or eating on plan for at least 6 months and sometimes more. It takes a while to do this. And so the key is to stay in it. I know it can be so frustrating because you think I'm doing the things, or I'm doing some of the things, or I'm doing all of the things and I'm not seeing results. And I want to encourage you, friend, to hang in there, to keep working on this, to keep believing that this will work for you. If this is you and you are needing help in your weight loss journey, I would love to jump on a discovery call with you and see how I can help you. Head over to the show notes and click book a call with Coach Chris, and I will be happy to talk with you and see what is going on with you and how I can support you.